The first article is basically talking about the limitations of the different ways in which the public distribution system is being implemented in India right now. And so let's see what the article is saying. It's saying that there are disruptions in the PDS, and we have moved from from compulsory biometric authentication to direct benefit transfer. Actually, there are two variants of implementing this public distribution system apart from the traditional one, in which one has to go to the ration shops and then we have to show a ration card, and then the ration was given. In the this thing this biometric compulsory biometric authentication, the ration card is to be linked with the Aadhaar card, and then your biometric authentication will be done, and only then the ration will be provided to the beneficiaries. And in the DBT, that is direct benefit transfer, as we all know that the subsidy amount is transferred to the beneficiary's account, and with that amount of rupees, then the beneficiary, he she can get the ration or the required amount of food grains from the shop at the market price. Fine. The next thing is that what the art this basically the article is a criticism to the different variants of public distribution system, and is trying to say that how from when on moving from traditional to the this new variants of public distribution system, how we are basically excluding the beneficiaries and what are the different difficulties faced by the beneficiaries. So let's take one by one. The first is this is biometric mix-ups. Fine. So the writer is giving the example of Jharkhand, that Jharkhand, it followed the Chhattisgarh model of public distribution system. Basically, let me tell you in brief that what is this Chhattisgarh model of this public distribution system. In this, the whole ration shops, which were earlier private, okay, so they were all deprivatized so that the entire concept of middlemen can be removed. And so in this way, this Chhattisgarh model, it has further certain number of things. I'm not recalling all these things right now, you can read it later on. But the thing is that Chhattisgarh model of public distribution system is not based on this biometric authentication or on direct benefit transfer. Fine. So this article is saying that now Jharkhand, it had a very good record of public distribution system in previous years, but and it followed Chhattisgarh model as well. But now the Jharkhand government made this biometric authentication compulsory for public distribution users. So, because of this, large number of people, especially among vulnerable groups such as widows and the elder ones, they found themselves excluded from the PDS. Fine. Now, the thing is that uh, why they are being excluded from this PDS is because due to connectivity problems and biometric failures. Fine. And the thing is, third reason is that there is revival of corruption as well in this public distribution system as well. See, what was the whole objective of bringing out this biometric authentication was that so that only the rightful beneficiary should be given the subsidized food grains. But with time, it has been seen that even with the biometric authentication, corruption is there. Moreover, the rightful beneficiaries, they are being excluded because many a times, like, elderly people are there, and as I've told earlier also, I guess previous day, that persons who are doing manual jobs and the elder ones, their fingerprints somehow if don't match, then they are not getting the their rightful amount of food grains. So this is the problem with this biometric authentication, plus corruption is also there. So, and the recent news, which basically is in news right now, that Jharkhand government has mass cancelled ration cards which were not linked with Aadhaar. Fine. So this and the people, they were not even told about it. They were not giving information that your ration cards are being cancelled. Fine. And but the government is hailing this move as like, okay, we have cancelled 11 lakh fake ration cards. However, the figure is more. But the thing is that without the now, what is the issue? with this, that okay fine, the government is hailing this move, like we have cancelled this 11 like fake ration cards and only the rightful beneficiaries will be giving the food grains and the PDS. But the thing is that this mass cancellation of Aadhaar card is done without verification and without even informing the victims, and so we can call it as inhuman and illegal act by any state government, and which is not at all acceptable in a democracy. Fine. So this particular thing is trying to say this, and is focusing on the mass cancellation of Aadhaar card done by Jharkhand government. Next is that now this was all about biometric authentication done in PES system. Now the writer is saying let's talk about this direct benefit transfer. Fine. See, under the direct benefit transfer, as I told earlier, that now what the people is to do, they need to collect their subsidy, food subsidy, whatever the government will give them in their bank accounts. Okay, and from this subsidy, they have to buy rice or whatever the food grain authorized is from the ration shop at 32 rupees per kg. Rupees 32 per kg. Now what happens? What is the problem? See, the people with this they have basically this mentioned a district Nagri also. Story kind of has been given. So it's not a story, but it's a case study kind of thing. But the what is the main issue behind this case study is that they're saying that people, they are facing problem with this direct benefit transfer as well. Fine. Because see, the main problem with this direct benefit transfer is that people waste a lot of time, okay, in uh, this shuttling between the banks. Then they are mentioning pragya kendras, means common service centers and ration shops, to get hold of their money and then use it to buy the rice at the ration shop. What the this para is trying to say is that people are considering this entire this DBT connected PDS as a three-step process. They're saying that it's, it's very hectic and it's very lengthy process. It's a three-step process because firstly the people have to go to their banks, fine, in order to find out that whether their subsidy has come or not. For this particular month their subsidy has come or not. Now secondly, they have to go to the community centers in order to collect that subsidy, because banks, they say that you have to go to these particular community centers in order to collect these subsidies. And thirdly, they have to go to the ration shop to buy the rice at rupees 32 per kg. And at every level, in banks, in community centers, and even at the ration shops, people find that there are long queues. Okay, so many people, and for many people, this the infrastructural problem is also there. That means the banks and the community centers, they are far away. Even in many cases, one can see that for a group of 2 to 3 villages, there is only a one bank. So we can consider that particular situation, how much difficulties people might be facing there. So and secondly, the issue is also of mobility. Think about the like problems of elderly people or differently abled people. Fine, they need to go to bank, they need to go to community centers and community service centers, and then they need to go to the this ration shops. So this was all about what is the limitations of direct benefit transfer. And the third issue that this writer is saying is that apart from infrastructural gap, apart from mobility issue, there is lack of awareness even in the personnel, like even in the personnel of the banks, that what needs to be done. Fine, they do not know, like if suppose in a family there are multiple accounts, then they don't know then in which account the subsidy would come. Fine, so there is lack of awareness not only in the people regarding this DBT, but in the this personnel as well. Fine, so this is the third issue with this direct benefit transfer. However, the state government, but it's an irony that people are facing problem, people are protesting against the DBT, but Jharkhand government has declared this district Nagri as the first cashless block. See, matlab they are just hailing their moves only without considering what difficulties people are facing. And at the same time, this there is tremendous pressure from the central government to impose Aadhaar based biometric authentication or move towards DBT. Means there is a pressure from central government as well. And even Chhattisgarh, which is known for its model PDS, is also under pressure of central government. So the writer is terming this entire process as growing centralization and technocracy. Growing centralization because center is not considering that what policy and what type of process is apt for a particular state. Fine, I mean Jharkhand being a tribal state, it's implementing DBT. Maybe it's not a right choice for it, but center is pushing it that adopt this biometric authentication or adopt PDS. So it's kind of centralization. And second thing is technocracy. We are too much moving towards technocracy. We are trying to impose technology in each and every sphere where even the people are not even ready to accept it. Acceptance is must. Fine, this is apart from the article. Anyway, this was the essence of the article. Let's look to the next article. Okay, the next article is basically trying to tell that how the stand of the animal welfare authorities has changed with time regarding Jallikattu. As we all know that Supreme Court has earlier, banned this Jallikattu, and then there were protests all over Tamil Nadu, and even in some sort of different states where this bull taming was done, means used as in sport activity. So earlier the stand of animal welfare activist was that no, it's against the rights of the animals as well, and prevention of cruelty to animals act, they were trying to put that in front of all these things. Fine, but now their move has changed. So let's see what the article is trying to say. They're saying that, see, Jallikattu is dangerous nature of bull taming event. I mean, it's quite dangerous, and not only the participants are at risk, but the spectators are also at risk. And there is a news that in one of the two events, even the spectators, one or two spectators are also killed. And the entire issue shows that there were lack of safety arrangements. Fine, which can be monitored by the district administration at these annual events. Fine, and which caused death and injury. And the thing is that Jallikattu has become a disorderly spectacle, making a mockery of even well laid out plans. Means even if district administration is trying to chalk out certain plans regarding the safety and monitoring purposes, but the thing is it's not coming out as successful. And even the animal welfare of India, which was earlier in the forefront of documenting instances of mismanagement, means earlier animal welfare of India, it was stating that there are mismanagement in the organization of Jallikattu events, but now they are saying that no, it's not like that, and there are small mistakes and human errors, and which can be done, वो ये तो हो सकता है, ऐसे कहीं भी हो सकता है. It's like casual stand they're taking. Now this article is saying that after last year's protest against the Supreme Court ban on Jallikattu, when thousands of people gathered in public places, the authorities, the thing is that now even the local authorities, they have been very, they are they are afraid of taking any anti Jallikattu stand, because they are wary of the reaction of the people. And now they are speaking the language of custom and tradition. Fine, so means they are now trying to speak in line of the supporter of Jallikattu. So see, the essence of this article is that how with time, okay, and how under pressure the even the this local authorities and even the animal welfare board officers, they are changing their stand just because the people are demanding for a particular thing, and people are enthusiastic for a particular thing, which even Supreme Court had at a certain point of time banned it. Fine, so this was all there. And next article is on open trafficking. Basically this article is trying to give insight into how the Indo-Nepal border is being used as human trafficking spot. And the thing is that after this Nepal earthquake in 2015, Ministry of Home Affairs said that human trafficking from Nepal to India has increased. It witnessed a threefold jump, and most of the victims in this human trafficking were minors, with girls and boys in equal number. Fine. See, it's very simple to understand that the region which was earthquake affected, it definitely suffers from the problems of poverty, unemployment, and also many people, they are being, they don't even know that their trafficking is being done. They are lured for um, jobs, or for some sort of yeah, I should say relationships, love affairs and all. Women are they're coming eloping basically from Nepal in the pretext of this love marriages and all. But when they come outside Nepal, then they get to know that actually the harm has been done. Now they have been trafficked basically. So the thing is this. And next is that the thing is, okay, the trafficking is there, but this human trafficking, identification of these human trafficking cases is not easy. It's not easy because I have told earlier that most of the cases in which women are being trafficked, they are of love affair cases. So they are not pressurized in Nepal that okay, like they are being kidnapped or something like that. The incidents are not like that. The thing is, they're coming with their own consent. But once they exit from Nepal, then they get to know that okay, now the trafficking has been done. So the case is this. So it's really very difficult for identification of these cases. And as we all know that after Indo-Nepal Treaty of Peace and Friendship in 1950, we have an open border between Nepal and India. Fine. So it's very easy to cross the Nepal border, and um, the only criteria where these individuals across the Nepal border are stopped, it's on the basis of if suppose there's some sort of suspicion or some sort of intelligence or information is there, then only the individuals are stopped at the border. And we cannot altogether this close this Indo-Nepal border, because it could endanger and accentuate economic vulnerabilities, because on both sides, on India as well as in Nepal side, economic problems will arise if we are going to close this Indo-Nepal border. And mostly for those who don't have any jobs or businesses, and for those who have jobs and businesses, uh, definitely they're going to face the problem along this if this border is closed. So this article is talking about all these things, that how this open Indo-Nepal border is basically becoming a spot of human trafficking after 2015 Nepal's earthquake. And what needs to be done is to equip this Nepal Indo-Nepal border with enhanced intelligence network and effective monitoring and mechanisms. So these were the important articles for today. Thank you.